Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley and we are here in Napoleon Total War doing a sort of a siege battle as you guys requested. Now, I was expecting it to turn out as a typical siege battle, but my opponent decided he would be able to take me in the field. So we're going to be doing a battle where I am going to be playing as the Ottomans moving forward. So I have a bunch of cannons, large cannons, meant to take out this huge fort that the British were hiding out in, but they've decided to sally out against me, and we can take a look at some of their forces arrayed. A lot of light foot, fencibles, foot infantry, foot guards, so a huge array of units taking the field, trying to actually push me back before they even damage the walls. So what I've decided to do is I've brought a lot of artillery, so howitzers positioned on one flank, backed up by two of these janissary forces who are heavy infantry units. Melee infantry, I should say, heavy melee infantry. Over in the center, I'm pushing up forward with some cheap Palestinian auxiliaries, backed up by Nizam 1 Sadid, or Nizam-e Sadid. People keep debating. I'm pretty sure it's Nizam 1 Sadid. Pushing forward to reinforce. Then in the center, I have two of these huge heavy cannons. One is a howitzer, one is a 9-pounder, and then I have Banshee bazooks behind that and more infantry. So the moral of the story is I brought a lot of artillery, meant to just concentrate fire and clobber the British foot as they try and push forward. I was intending for it to work against massive walls, but it works just as well against the soft body of infantry. So he's going to be pushing forward, and he was trying to wipe out my units, so I'm going to decide to send out a first salvo. Speaking of salvos, I have a couple of those going forward right now with my artillery, so I'm going to be targeting key positions moving forward. I'm going to have to blunt his assault in some way. So you can see all along the front, he's trying to push forward. I'm going to halt him with this murderous cannon fire that's going to start targeting his guys. And now we can look at some of my Banshee bazooks pushing forward into this just World War I looking type of battlefield, charging forward against no man's land. Gonna get shot at from multiple ranks of units, one after the other, but they're gonna be holding strong, somehow forcing the British back, but now they're gonna be falling back themselves. But it was enough to hold back the British, and it's gonna be long enough for me to shell these positions and just do ridiculous amounts of damage. So you can see them unleashing fire. The British, obviously with their superior firepower, just destroying my guys. But look at these shots, ripping, absolutely ripping through the British lines. So yes, they're able to kill a couple of my fodder units, but in exchange, they're holding position, and that is the last thing you want to do when taking artillery fire. Some of my own Palestinian auxiliaries are actually holding strong in this fight, and they're going to be getting point-blank range shots. The entire British force is now moving forward, and here come additional shots coming in, raining in. I'm concentrating fire with as many units as I can into the mix where I feel the enemy pressure is highest. So this is going to be right here. I'm trying to safeguard some of my artillery crew. You can see them actually putting on shots in the center of the British line where they're starting to put shots on me. I'm just going to form craters in these areas, and they're going to be breaking against my guys. Kudos to my forces for holding out. These are some low tier forces trying to hold out against their higher tier counterparts. And yeah, somehow they're holding in long enough just to allow these bombardments are crazy. And now I feel like the British have had enough. I've softened them up enough, and now we're going to attack Palestinian auxiliaries in the front to get some initial volleys. And now let's see if we can't follow some of our forces over here. Let's watch actually this charge as we push forward straight into the British line. The sandstorm is kind of having the effect of irritating the British, perhaps slowing down their notoriously quick firing rates. Now they're going to try and form into square to slow me down, or pull back or something, but with the triple veterancy on my guys, we're going to absolutely destroy them. I pull back where I don't have to, and just look at this, annihilate the forces, continue the strategy of just massive bombardment on these forces, and I'm going to just massacre the British forces here. Form it up into square, yes, that'll be a decent defense, but all up and down the line, your forces that you're not supporting are going to be paying the toll. On this flank, I'm actually going to be threatening an assault from these guys. Just waiting with the Samat Janissaries on that front. He was able to break some of my forces, so he's making a decent advance. However, with the force here in my Nizam 1 City, I'm able to halt this. Meanwhile, the left is being torn to shreds. My Banshee bazooks are actually going to be coming back, chasing his guys away, while I am now the one getting supporting fire. And take a look at this. He's forming up into square. That is going to be prime targets for the artillerymen. Let's actually take a look at what it's like from the artillery forces. Actually over here some of my guys have rallied, but the howitzers here, experimental units actually up on the hill, and they're going to be sort of ramming the charges down here, putting the black powder in, and they're going to be able to set this up. Look at the carnage of this battlefield, and so you can see it's kind of hard to tell friend from foe, but they can see kind of my line and the British line, and they're just going to have to fire in that general direction. And obviously my commander is going to have to relay instructions for them not to hit my own guys, but they're going to decide the more appropriate target is going to be in the center, where a lot of the British forces are, less of my guys are there. And it's like the 4th of July out here. We are just absolutely the front lines of the British. Yes, they have the just ranks and ranks of fire. I can't really throw anything at them up front. You can see their murderous fire is going to be doing that, but I can repay that, like I've been saying over and over again. I can't emphasize it enough, but that is a strategy this game, is just to freeze the British force, halt them, and in the middle of a sandstorm, charge with sabers ready, and follow that up with some massive bombardment. So this is full shock and awe. Here, take a look at some of these volleys coming in, timed perfectly with the assault. So just imagine, put yourself in the foot of these guys, shells exploding overhead, you look up, you try and guard yourself from the shrapnel, and the second you look up, there are now units charging you with swords drawn. So instantly break through one guy. They're going to try and fall back to their lines in the back. However, I'm going to be just swallowing up entire units on this side. So we've taken this flank. Now we're going to be pushing up. More of my guys are going to rally. Watch the first ranks of the British forces start to crumble. My guys are going to start to penetrate. Let's watch this a little closer. They're going to reform back behind some of their foot troops. My guys still continuing on, forming up in the square. And once you form into square, you've kind of sacrificed your mobility, but at least it's enough. The general is going to try and rally. That's going to be another target for me to just signal my, my artillery to shoot there. Over on this side, what we've decided to do is push forward with the assault. We're going to be moving in giant, massive blocks. Some of my units even running out of ammo. The fire has been that intense on this side of the battlefield. We're just going to bypass some of these line troops. We're going to be going for the entire envelopment. So these guys are left kind of, they're going to be surrounded at this point. Oh my god, the fire is coming in, taking out clusters of these squares. And here comes the line. I'm not going to allow them a moment's rest. Continuing to chase these guys all the way back to the fort. The remainder of the forces here are now going to get triple charged by all my guys. My general is in the back coordinating the artillery strikes. And there's almost nothing left in the center. Some of my shots, you saw that one whiz past the general. I was trying to decapitate him, take him out. The remainder of the forces are trying to rally, and he's looking back at these fort walls saying, why did we have to fight with honor? We should have just held back at this fort. But at the end of the day, I think I had just enough firepower. Some of the guns that these guys can bring to bear are just insane. The crisscrossing shots are just are incredible, and there goes the general down. I think the positioning of artillery was pretty spot on. Had one howitzer battery there, one on the left, and two in the center. That just gives me entire control of the field of fire. And now the British have been forced to go into the center. The center, however, is going to be exactly in the middle of the firing arcs of all my artillery. So I take the flanks, and the center I just concentrate fire, and that is how you wipe out a superior force like this. Look at this. They're trying to take shelter in the middle, form a defensive perimeter of some sort. Yeah, you can see just how well that's going to go. And the pressure is going to be almost too much. I think these are, no, these are just the foot guards, so they're just normal foot. Let's see if they can hold out against my guys. So we can zoom up and down the line, watch them get some fire shots. Yeah. I think we're actually going to be clearing through the smoke. Here comes my guys. Holy shit, that is scary. So here he goes, multiple volleys. Here comes another shot. Let's see if it hits any of them. Going a little too far. And now they're going to be sounding battle. The battle is over. They're going to be retreating back into their fort, but they're not going to have enough time, enough cohesion to hold the gates back. They're retreating, oh my god, with sabers stabbed in their backs. So I massacred that force, and hopefully that should teach them to be a little bit more humble. Stay in your forts and let us bombard you with impunity. You come out and sally against me, you're gonna get slaughtered. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Definitely fun. I really like the artillery focused sieges. We didn't really get to use the fort too much, so hopefully I'll be able to do one of those battles in the future, but still, nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed the massive artillery fire. Definitely very, very fun. Let's look at some of the statistics on some of my guys. Yeah, so my artillery doing okay. Mostly it was the close quarter combat that you could see killed the British. Once I got these forces into the mix, they got a lot of the fighting done. Nizam-e Sadit, who were holding the center, did pretty well. Nizam 1 Sadit, sorry. and my artillery actually not seemingly doing that much. I mean, 46, 28, 33. That's actually pretty good for the amount of forces they were targeting. That is like a solid, third or fourth of an entire unit. You take that out and you combine that with a melee assault. That adds up to the entire unit. Yeah, that's how we killed them. Initial softening blows with the howitzers, getting the bulk of the initial kills, disorientating them, and then cleaning up the rest of the forces. Meanwhile, my general back here, no losses, no kills. He was the one coordinating the assault, and now the fort is mine. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I read the comments, so leave your feedback below what you'd like to see in the future. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.